All right, I'd like to call this meeting of the Whately Selectboard to order. The first item on our agenda are the minutes. Do we have any comments on the minutes of the June 25th meeting?
No.
None from Fred, Julie?
I have no comments. The only thing I want to say is that I have not been in the office to be sworn in yet, so I believe I'm a non-voting member of this meeting.
Oh, okay, all right, well, we'll take your comments
Okay.
regardless.
I have
Anybody?
no comments.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, then I hear a motion.
Approve the minutes.
Second, let's see, I think since, I'm gonna just better safe than sorry, do a roll call
Yeah.
vote. Fred,
Yes.
Joyce, yes. Julie is non-voting for this meeting.
Abstain. Yep.
Okay, all right, the warrants, were there any comments on the warrants? I did not.
No.
Okay, great. Now it's time for public comment. Public comment is for comments on things that are not on the agenda. Does anyone have a comment for things that are not on the agenda? Yes.
Sorry, so the state is looking forward to next year's elections already.
Uh-huh.
And the select board approved the purchase of a tabulator, but they did not approve the use of a tabulator. And the state is questioning if we will be using the tabulator for the state elections next year.
Oh, okay. It sounds like that something needs to be on one of our agendas coming up.
I just wanted to put that in your
Okay,
head.
okay. Haven this year, it went right out this one and into Pete's
Okay.
list of things to put on a future agenda.
They're doing like cost and budget and things like that.
Oh, okay.
That all.
And so when you say next year's elections, we're talking about,
September, November primaries.
that is roughly 2 years from now.
A
Sorry,
year and a
a
half.
year and a half from now, sorry.
Correct, but we
That's what-
start the process way before.
Yeah, okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you. Is anybody else present? Have something they want to add? How about folks who are joining us by Zoom?
No.
I'm not seeing anybody wanting public comment. Okay, great. Well, our next item is public hearing, a dog hearing. And I have a particular script I have to read for that. And we go here. Okay. The select board will conduct a hearing under section 157 of chapter 140 of the general laws on a request filed by Animal Control Officer Heather Son regarding an incident involving a male dog owned by Amy LaValle at 171 State Road in Whately. The board will first hear from the Animal Control Officer, who may present evidence in support of the request. We will also hear from the victim noted in the request, Kimberly Grozo, I hope I'm saying that right, if available. We will then allow Ms. LaValle to respond and present any opposing evidence. The board may then ask if there are any others present who may wish to speak to provide evidence. At all times, anyone who speaks will be asked to identify themselves first and must direct all conversations with the board, not to anyone else in the room. Okay. So during the process, the board may ask questions of anyone presenting evidence. The board may also ask for input from relevant town officials. After hearing the evidence presented, the board will close the hearing and will deliberate at this meeting and/or at a subsequent meeting before making its decision. Under the statute, the board may discuss the complaint, deem the dog a nuisance dog, deem the dog a dangerous dog, or deem the dog a dangerous dog. If the board finds the dog to be a nuisance dog, the board may make an order for remedial action. If the board finds the dog a dangerous dog, the board will make one or more orders to address the situation, which may include restraint, confinement, reproductive alteration, or that the dog be humanely euthanized. Anyone who will testify must first be sworn in. If you will be testifying, please raise your right hand to take the oath, which the assistant town clerk will now ask you to do. So.
All right.
You need to stand. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Animal Control Officer Heather Tom. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yep.
Okay. So then after we go through the testimony and evidence, then we close the hearing. Okay, so,
If, sorry, if I'm moving to open
Yes.
here,
okay, I would take a motion.
move to open here.
I second that. All those in favor, Fred? Joyce? Yes. Okay, then first on the list then is Heather.
Do I stand?
What are you most comfortable with?
Whatever you prefer.
Just if you speak loudly enough for old people across the other side of the room to hear you, that would be really wonderful.
Okay, I will definitely try to do that one. So I received a phone call from the victim stating that she had received a dog bite. It was a week after the bite occurred in Whately. She had just returned from the doctor's office where she was getting her stitches removed because of the damage that was done by reported was suspectedly done by the dog in question, Wayland. She presented us with a witness statement report and photos, which I submitted previously. I think, does everyone have access to that?
Yeah,
I didn't print out extra pictures and such.
We have them.
yeah, we have.
Okay, so, took the report, I came in here to talk to Amy LaValle, the town clerk, just to clarify, she got the bite report, and the conversation did proceed with, getting a little more background on the incident of what happened. Ms. LaValle stated that the dog was more pecking the person to get them off the property, which is, a German Shepherd is known to protect their property, and that's understandable behavior that they would try to get someone off their property. But the victim's bite wounds don't represent a peck. There was large gashes in her arm that required stitches, antibiotics. So the aggressiveness of the dog was not a peck, that we feel that there was biting involved as well. We have a report that there was video footage, and the video footage was shown to some trainers. When I requested the video footage, it was no longer available because it was a time lapse video footage, as I was told. So that would be great if we had it. We could all see the perspective of what really happened. So right now we have a victim telling us one event, and then we have the dog owners telling another event, and the better evidence of a video is no longer available. So we're going along with the witness's statement that, she went on the property, she was gonna return a piece of mail that was delivered to her instead of to this residence. She claims she was waved on by the mail party to come give onto the property. And that's when the dog came towards her, jumping at her and biting her. It was reported to me that Ms. LaValle was called on scene. She wasn't there at the time of the event, and she addressed the wounds and brought the individual to the hospital so that she could get her treatment there. So when I did do a drive-by after speaking to Amy, I did notice some beware of dog signs, but they're very small. They're black with gold writing, which makes it more blend into the property line. It's more decorative than warning someone that you possibly have a couple large dogs on the property. I know that the animal health inspector also was notified. I got the information, brought it to her, and she went to do the 10-day quarantine, which of course was a little bit, after the fact because of the way the timeline notified us. The animal health inspector sent me a separate statement, which is not in any of your packets. I apologize, it came in after the fact. But your animal health inspector, Storm McQueen, wrote a little supplement saying, upon arriving at LaValle's residence, I was greeted by a male individual. I then requested to speak with Amy LaValle and to see Waylon, the canine. After several minutes, Mrs. LaValle emerged from the rear entrance with Waylon. She appeared to be managing multiple items, including a dog ball, a remote, presumably for Waylon's collar, and a leash attached to the dog. As they approached, Miss LaValle lost control of the leash and Waylon charged towards me. During this, the owner repeatedly shouted, "He's muzzled," as Waylon jumped on me. I turned to the side in an attempt to disengage from the behavior. Miss LaValle regained control of the leash, and while speaking with me about Waylon's recent biting incident, issued verbal corrections instructing him to remain in a down position. I forgot to mention when I was meeting Miss LaValle, she said she was going to start a safety plan of muzzling the dog and keeping it on a leash, which is great. Everyone here seems to want the dog just to be safe and people around him safe. The victim in her report also wrote that she's not looking for the dog to be put down, nor are we. We just want safety standards in place so that everyone can be kept safe. This little narrative that I shared with you was to show that Miss LaValle needs to practice a little more with leash handling if she's gonna carry extra distractive techniques to help her with the dog. I think that's probably all I've got. The rest is kind of in the report, and I think we've all reviewed that.
Okay. Is there anything more from the animal? I think there's other people with similar uniforms.
Yes.
Anything more from the animal
We have the whole
control
team.
folks? Want to say anything to add to that? All right, then, next in line would be the victim, if they are, if they so choose, men can also make a statement, would that be you, or you, Ms. Bros?
Sorry, I'm late. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's okay, we had only just gotten started, you didn't really miss very much. But yeah, if you would like to, this is, oh, sorry.
If you don't mind standing, yeah, no, you can stand right there and just raise your hand for me, your right hand, please. Okay, do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Right, thank you.
And I'm saying that right, it's Brozo or Brazo?
I usually say Rosa, but I think it's
Brazo?
Rosa.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm happy to say it whatever way you like. So yeah, that is, the only part you missed was where the animal control officers get to go first, you get to go second, and Amy gets to go last. So please go ahead.
I guess I submitted a statement
Yeah.
of the events. I guess my main concern here is that, we use the same vet, and Wayland has had some issues, and I do believe he's a bite risk at the vet. When I went onto the property, Mr. LaValle was there, I was on the very edge of the property, he waved, it was a really pleasant experience, I didn't have any warning. I know that LaValle said that he yelled, if he yelled, I would have left, like, I respect the property, I have a large dog, I have a giant shepherd husky, you know, I understand that. The dog had a shock collar on, when I was speaking with Amy, she has 3 dog trainers that she works with. They come once a week. If we have a shock collar on the dog, if we have dog trainers coming once a week, and this still happened I wasn't waving my hands, I wasn't flagging, I wasn't speaking, no like verbal cues. I was right by my car, and Amy has a video of the entire incident that will confirm that. And my concern is that if you already have tools in place, such as a shock collar, such as medication for that, such as a trainer that comes once a week, and this has happened, then we need some kind of intervention, because this has been horrible. I missed over 2 weeks of work. I have something called ulnar entrapment. Stupid thing is still bruised 2 months later. I have a facial scar. You can see it from there. I have holes. I understand. She stated that it was a nip, not an attack. The dog's teeth stopped at the bone. This is 3 different areas. We need to do something. I don't want the dog to be put down. I see that they're building a fence, but I really would like to just request that if the dog is on premises, that the dog be muzzled at all times, especially at the vet, and that while the dog is at home, the dog is restrained by a fence. I saw that there was a collar that didn't work, and I also I think.
And I forgot to ask, do you have any questions you want to ask?
At this point.
At this point, Julie, do you have any questions that you want to ask?
Two questions. One is, Kimberly, would you, since I'm on Zoom and I have this tiny little cell phone, if you could speak slowly, that would be awesome. And the second question is, there was a week, I guess, between the bite and your reporting the incident. Can you tell me what happened within that time that made you decide to report it or made you initially decide not to report it?
My conversations at Amy Valley led me to determine that I don't think this will be handled without a type of intervention. Outside of her ownership.
Okay, so that you had conversations in the course of that week that led you to believe that there needed to be further intervention.
Yes, and so
Okay.
she was very considerate. She reached out multiple times. The reason, the conversation completely deteriorated when I found out that she had a video of the incident and she had shown it to her 3 dog trainers. And when I had asked for the video, because I have no recollection what happened in my arms, and I know that's trivial, but for me, that's kind of just like, hey, I remember the dog jumping at my face. I remember covering my face. I have no recollection of what happened. And to just know that other people saw that, I know I'm being emotional about that. That makes sense, but I'd like to know what happened to my arms. I'd like to know what played out, to know that you have a video of this. You're corroborating statements that I'm saying based on a video that dog trainers have seen, and then come back and say that it appears to be, a nip. And then Valkyrie, the other dog, corrected her brother by giving him a little nip after he did that. I don't think that's cute. I don't think that's funny. I would like to see the video if there is a video of it. I think I deserve to know what happened. I understand that may not occur, and that's okay. And I'll just have to move on from that. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's move on to Amy, who has already been sworn in.
Is there anyone else?
There was JD for Amy.
Oh, it was
Well,
victim, sorry.
I will ask.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I think, yeah, and Amy is next, and then anybody else is after it.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah,
Kate, can you put up the, in place? And just put it on the first slide, and Paul. You have the video?
No,
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say, that would be too much.
it's not, it's a compilation, but just remember, we'll allow everybody, Joyce will allow everybody in a timely manner. And it's always directed to the board.
Yeah.
I just need to share the screen.
Hit pause. Cause I think it's gonna keep it up. Good. On May 8th at 3:15, I brought my dog Wayland to the Sunderland Animal Hospital for his 3-year checkup. He gets anxious at the vet, but animal doesn't, and is a 100-pound German Shepherd. Because of his breed, size, and anxiety, he's at the vet. He's pre-treated with what they call the chill protocol, which consists of 3 medications. I put a letter from the vet stating this in your packets. Yeah, pet news was taken the night before, a from promazine and melatonin to be taken 1 hour before his visit, as well as the use of a leash and a muzzle. If you could do, the next. So that's my problem, my first one. These are the medications he takes. And then the next. That's him at the vet, muzzled and leashed, you can pause it. The combination of these medications creates essentially a conscious sedation. The animal's awake and can walk, but is markedly sedated. I brought him to his appointment and we had no issues throughout his checkup, shots, and blood work. We arrived back home at approximately 5 p.m. Wayland was still working off the sedation, so I put him in his kennel so that he could sleep it off. I left my house, went 4 houses down to check on my father-in-law, which I have to do every day. I was there for about 15 minutes when I received a phone call from my husband, who was screaming into the phone, "You need to get home now, Wayland just bit someone." I jumped in my vehicle and raced back to the house, arriving at 5:18 to find a woman standing in my driveway and my husband. My husband was extremely upset, and I observed a woman with blood on her chin and arm. I instructed my husband to go into the house and get me soapy water, paper towels, and a chair. I then guided the woman further into my driveway closer to my home. She was visibly shaking. I asked her name and she told me it was Kim. I asked her what happened and she stated that she, quote, accidentally opened a UPS package that was supposed to be delivered to us and came to bring it and apologize. She was visibly upset and said that she, quote, got out of her car and saw the dogs and thought they were friendly because she has a German Shepherd, but then one of them jumped up and started biting her. She stated that she heard my husband yell at her to get back in her car and she thought she tried, but everything happened so fast and it was very confusing. At this point, my husband came out with a soap and water and chair. I told her that I was a nurse in a previous life, which is true. And I was going to clean her up and see what she had for wounds. I observed a small scratch on her chin, an abrasion behind her right elbow, and a bite wound on her left forearm. I then talked her through the process of cleaning her wounds up and started with pressure and cleaning up her chin. I had to send my husband back into the house because he was extremely upset. I cleaned up her face and her forearm and asked her if she would like to go to the emergency department, and she said yes. She stated that she would drive herself, and I told her absolutely not, as I could see she was still very shaky and in shock. We got into her car. I called my husband to let him know I was bringing her to the emergency department. I told Kim that I was going to bring her to Bay State Franklin because that's usually where I go. But then I asked her where she lived and she said Florence. So I asked her if she wanted to go to Whately instead and she said yes. I brought her to the emergency department at Whately Son Hospital, leaving my house at 5:22. Called my husband and told him to meet me there. We arrived at Whately. I walked into the hospital with her so we could exchange information. When we got to the triage window, the nurse asked her what happened and she stated that she fell. I stated that is not what happened and that my dog bit her. They then took her in, bandaged her up, and sent her back in the waiting room. At that point, we exchanged names and phone numbers, and I asked her if she wanted me to stay with her, and she said she had a friend coming and then I could leave. My husband picked me up and we left. I texted about 3 hours later to ask her how she was doing and let her know that if she needed anything to let me know. She texted later at 9:43 saying that she was home and okay and going to bed, and she actually stated, I just left Whately, everything's okay, couple face stitches and that's it. The rest is punctures and bone bruises. Everything should heal up. Thank you for bringing me to the hospital. I really appreciate it. I hope you get some rest. She's been very nice through this whole process. We exchanged several messages in the next couple of days, with me checking in to see if she was okay and letting her know many times that if she had any medical bills or missed time at work to let me know, we would take care of it. I did not know what happened initially, and I was extremely upset to say the least. I spent the next day finding a vet to come to my home to euthanize him because I thought my dog had full on tried to kill someone. My soul was broken. I had an appointment set up for the following Monday. The following day, after I calmed down some, I sat with my husband to find out what the heck happened. He stated he got home, he took the dogs for a walk around our field, which is our typical routine. Stated that he walked into the garage with the dogs and was walking into the house and ready to open the door, realized the dogs were not behind him. He went out into the driveway and saw a car he didn't know and a lady standing there that he did not know with the dogs at her feet. He saw Wayland jump up and yelled at her to get back in her car because he didn't know why Wayland was jumping on her. He told her 3 times to get back into her vehicle. When he went over to them, Wayland walked away from the lady, and my husband realized that she was bitten. He brought the dogs back into the house and called me and went back out, moved her car out of the way so I could pull in. My husband was extremely upset and sick for several days, as was I. I then talked with one of their trainers and told him what had happened. My trainer actually reminded me that we have cameras. So we watched what happened together to figure this out. On the video, I observed a white car belonging to Miss Brozo stop and park in my driveway and get out of her vehicle. Can you do the next slide, please? I observed my two dogs, Valkyrie and Waylon, walk out of the garage. Oh, just pause it. Yeah, so like in the previous slide, you can see them at the edge of the garage. My husband is not there. See at the bottom screen, there's Waylon, you can see Valkyrie's head. This is the
Mhm.
slide. This is what my husband came out and saw. Wait, just keep it paused there. Miss Brozo stopped and parked in my driveway, got out of her vehicle. Oh, wait a minute, let me go back. Miss Brozo stopped and parked in my driveway, got out of her vehicle, observed my dogs Valkyrie and Waylon walk out of the garage. The video then cuts out, and it does this when it's motion triggered. Motion trigger was my husband walking out of the garage. When the camera cuts back, the two dogs are now sitting at her feet, which they are trained to do when greeting someone. Waylon then jumps up and at the woman's face as my husband is walking towards them, and my female looks back to my husband as he's heading towards Waylon and the woman. The woman waves her left arm, and it appears that he then bites her left forearm. Waylon then walks away from the woman. Valkyrie nips at Waylon in a corrective manner. The woman and my husband exchange words, which you can't hear, and he walks both of the dogs in a heel position back to the garage. When Waylon is walking back to the garage, you can see that he's, like, I know you guys don't know my dogs and how he normally is, but you can see that he's just not walking right. My husband comes back out to the woman. The video cuts out again. And you can actually see Waylon walk back out into the driveway with his tail wagging. My husband sees him, points him back to the house. Waylon goes back to the garage. My husband re-enters the garage. I asked him about this, and he told me that in his panic, he put the dogs into the house, but he forgot that he left the back door open. So Waylon came back out through the back door. He brought him back in, he put them in their crates, which is in our mudroom. The timing, and then, what he then walks back to the woman, moves her car to the front of the barn, that's when I pull in. Timing of when she pulls in to when I leave with her is 7 minutes. The interaction of her with my dogs is 8 seconds. At no point did Waylon grab onto the woman, pull or shake in an aggressive manner. He did not have to be pulled off of her or physically restrained to stop a bite. He did not lunge, bark, or growl or run at her. I have spent tens of thousands of dollars and thousands of hours working with these dogs. They have done numerous boards and trains together and separately. Why? Because they're not just run-of-the-mill pet dogs, but working on German Shepherds imported from the Czech Republic. They are bred to work. They are trained to the utmost standards, the discipline, agility, and obedience, and excel in this. I am their handler and work them every single day. They are more than just pets, and they are more than just a hobby. In fact, the female Valkyrie was getting ready to be nationally certified as a tracking dog for lost human pets and even articles. I have tons of videos of them working in private and public with zero issues in the safety around them. If you can come to the next couple of videos and you can kind of.
Should we just let it play?
Yeah, you can just let it play. There's Waylon at Home Depot, not muzzled, leashed. Here's Waylon at Lowe's, not muzzled, leashed, people around, hanging out. This one might be a little long, so you can skip. I don't know how long it is.
He's really not leashed at Home Depot?
No, he's leashed. He has 2 leashes.
Okay, sorry, I thought I heard you say not leashed.
Muzzled, not muzzled, but leashed. Practicing his obedience. Scroll.
Probably go forward like the 10 seconds or whatever, there's that option at the bottom, or 30 seconds or whatever.
Might be too, I'm trying to think 30 minutes. I think this is.
Is this all- Still the same store.
Oh, maybe that's the Lowe's. Yeah. Oh, here he is, and Sam, not Sam's in a clothing store. He had no muzzle, leashed. Hanging out. People around. Here's Wayland, not muzzled, walking downtown Northampton, people everywhere. Dogs everywhere, not muzzled. This one is a long one, so you can see. This one. Hold on, pause that. I have videos of my dogs leashed and unmuzzled in a variety of settings, including parks, cities, downtown Northampton, and various stores, with no issues or safety concerns to myself or the public. We've had numerous guests and delivery people come to our property and our home that are strangers to these dogs with zero issues. I understand that there has been one other reported incident that was extremely minor when he was a year-old puppy. He nipped at somebody's finger that was barely a scratch, did not require medical attention, but because I take this seriously, I insisted on reporting it. This incident was worse and regrettable. This was not an aggressive, unprovoked attack, but a dog that was confused due to the medication he was on from the vet and an unannounced stranger coming onto his property. Since this occurred, in addition to the give me a second. Already installed no trespassing signs that Ms. Brozo actually parked next to. And this sign is on our driveway and our farm road on the other side of the house. We have installed a driveway alarm. Did we skip it? Back to- A little bit more. Oh, go back.
Go back in front.
Yep, there it is. Driveway alarm chimes every time somebody pulls in. We are also in the process and almost finished with, next slide, a 400-foot long, 5.5-foot high fence that goes the entire acre of our property. It was a little setback in installation because a couple of days into it, I broke my finger, so I was only one-handed for a while. And then we've had a multitude of weekends of rain. We're installing it ourselves because a fence like this, we got quoted $40,000. I don't have $40,000 to put a fence up. So that's almost done. It needs one more side on the south side. There's going to be gate signage at every gate on that fence. Do not open this gate. There are dogs. And I also muzzle Wayland because the fence is not finished. I also muzzle Wayland anytime he is outside of the house, whether in the yard or in public. This is the muzzle that he uses. This was his previous muzzle. He upgraded it to this one. You can go past a little bit to the next one. Oh, that's more of the fence, so you can see how, it's hard to see how big it is. This is Wayland out in public with the muzzle. The next one. Oh, hang on, right there. I also carry 3 times the state's minimum legally required liability insurance. I have a copy of my rider right there. Massachusetts state law requires $100,000. I have a $300,000 policy. That was before this incident happened. I have done this on my own volition to make sure that this does not happen to anyone ever again. You're probably asking why I feel the need to do all this since this happened if my dogs are not a safety concern and so well trained. Well, for about a month after this incident, Waylon's behavior was set back. He was jumpy, nervous, would bully his sister, and became extremely guarded, which can be expected after an event such as this. I want to make sure that everyone is safe until I am 1,000,000% sure he's back on track, which we were getting to through training and work. And then I received a letter from a lawyer stating that I'm being sued by Ms. Grosso.
You're not being sued, I am.
When the trainers, I am speaking, when the trainers found this out, they essentially ghosted me as they want no part in being dragged into a lawsuit. However, I've been doing my due diligence and have continued working my dogs and training every day. And Waylon is getting back to where he should be. Okay, so you can play this video now. This is not 100% what I want to show you, but it's kind of a sample. Here's a vehicle pulling into my driveway. The dogs are right here off camera in their pool. The camera doesn't go that far. This was just the other day. You can scroll through it a little bit. My dogs were literally probably 15 feet. This person gets out of his vehicle. He's standing there. He's talking to me. Dogs are splashing in the pool. He's saying, "Oh, they really love that water." Blah 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 blah. Looks like they're having fun. He had a dog in his vehicle at the time too. Never once did they ever approach him, run at him, anything like that. You can skip this. And actually, since this incident, I'll pause that. One of the members of the select board has come to my house. One of you has been in my house since the incident. They were right there in the yard, and they actually alerted me that you had pulled in. And there was 0 incident, and I don't even know if that person knows that my dogs were even outside. They didn't bark or anything like that. On this trail walk around Warrenbrook, we met several other people of all ages, as well as dogs, with 0 issue. For my own peace of mind, without a professional, and so when we're on this trail walk and we see other people, these dogs go into heel position on either side of me. Waylon is on my left, Valkyrie is on my right. Valkyrie is not muzzled, as you can see, because she is on me. But I will tell you that when she's at the vet, she has to be muzzled because she's wildly dramatic, because she hasn't bitten anybody. But for my own peace of mind, without a professional, until I find one, I will keep the safety measures such as a muzzle and leash in place when he's outside the fenced-in area, whether on my property or in public. I do not believe he's a danger, but I am staying on the safe side. This was a regrettable, unfortunate accident that was caused by everyone in the situation dropping balls, so to speak, and we all bear responsibility for what happened. This was not a willful, aggressive, unprovoked dog attack. This was a dog that was on sedation medications, not thinking straight, seeing a stranger in his yard, his home. My dogs are amazing dogs. Waylon is a goofy 105-pound potato who thinks he's a lap dog. Next. You cannot sit down without him in your lap. Who thinks he's a lap dog and just wants belly rubs and to chase flies and bees. He's smarter than I give him credit for. He's disciplined and his obedience is excellent. He follows commands in 2 different languages as well as hand signals. His sister is extremely intelligent, athletic, agile, friendly, and excels as a working dog who also follows commands in 2 different languages as well as hand signals. Ms. Brozo drove onto a stranger's yard, parked next to a no trespassing, beware of dog sign, got out of her vehicle, saw 2 large German shepherds walk towards her that she did not know, was told several times to get back in her vehicle as stated by her and my husband, did not heed and was unfortunately bitten. She's lucky that my dogs are trained as they are, as this incident could have been a lot worse. If this was not a trained dog and just a dog that was willy-nilly my house pet, I don't even know what would have happened. I should have communicated with my husband that I had to bring Waylon to the vet and that he should stay inside his crate to sleep the sedation meds off because he was wonky. As bad as I feel about this, I wish it never happened, it did, and now I'm dealing with the aftermath. I'm asking the board to take into consideration what I was today, in making their determination, and will respect whatever outcome it may be. And just one more thing, so I wrote this out, before I saw the dog bite report yesterday. I didn't see it until yesterday afternoon and have a few things I wanna just comment on. First, I'm unclear why my place of employment has been mentioned or has anything to do with this incident. This did not happen during work hours or on town property. It happened during my own personal time and on my own property. Also, Ms. Rozo, since then, no, never mind, I'm not even gonna get into that. Second, if my veterinary clinic told her that my dog is a bite risk, we have a big problem. This breaches ethics and confidentiality. They have never behaviorally assessed my dog and have been able to successfully perform his checkups and medical care without incident. Ms. Brozo states that this could mean that the dogs have bitten staff. I want to make very clear, neither of my current dogs have ever bitten any staff at my clinic, and I take umbrage with this statement. My dog gets anxious at the vet, just like almost every other animal, whether cat, dog, bunny, whatever. Animals don't like vets. Because he gets anxious, even before this incident. He is leashed, he is muzzled, and he's on the chill protocol every single time to make it easier for him and everybody else. This does not mean that he is dangerous. His sister also has to take gummies and gets muzzled, and she is far from aggressive. But she gets anxious at the vet and she gets dramatic, and before you even touch her, she starts screaming. Animals are very well known to bite during veterinary care. The only animal I have ever owned that bit a vet was my sheep named Chip. I take huge issue with this statement and will be dealing with my veterinarian's office. I will. Next, her perception of the events that took place are understandably skewed. The video shows that she did park well into my driveway, pulled past my sign. My husband did not wave at her and walk out with the dogs as they were at her feet when he came out. This is all on the video. My counsel has requested that I do not show the video to anyone, and it is for, my counsel hasn't even seen the video yet. Nobody has seen it. This is all video, as well as my husband clearly yelling at her. As stated by my husband and her separately. My dogs were not, she also states in there that the dogs were just put in the garage and that she was afraid to go near my garage because she could hear them barking and snarling or whatever. They were in the house. And she knows this because while I was treating her wounds, we were standing right next to the front, the middle bay with the door wide open, and my dogs were not present and making no noise. Our shared traumatic reaction proves that this is not something that just happens. If this was something that Waylon does on a daily and was an issue, we would not be going through these emotions. My husband is still traumatized from it. I am refilling Ativan like there's no tomorrow. It's just something that hasn't happened. Also, I'm clear why we're having this hearing, as Ms. Rozo has evidence that we've taken a multitude of steps. Be sure it does not happen again, just as she stated she needs to do. I took these steps before even being contacted by the ACO or lawyer or anyone. The dog offers to stay and record, then visit, these things were in place. We also immediately offered her compensation for her medicals and time off for work missed without question several times without being asked to or told to, with no response. And without knowing her home situation, I also offered support to help with anything at home or help her care for her dog while she used. That's all I got.
Okay. Just a reminder to everybody that when you have questions or comments, direct them to the board. To each other. So let me say, Fred, you have some questions, any questions you want to ask?
Well, do we have other witnesses?
Um,
First, or do you wanna-
I don't know if we have other people who would like to say something. If you want to save your questions till the end, that's
Well,
fine. Or if you want to ask.
I'd rather-
right now.
I'd rather say it to the end, because if something else comes up, then we.
Oh, okay. How about you, Julie? Same thing?
Uh,
There's something you want to ask right now?
there's nothing I want to ask right now, no.
Okay. Yeah, I may save till the end. As well. I took a few notes here and some things. So now is the time for anybody who is not the animal control officer, the person that got the bite, the person who's getting the dog. So that's you, JD.
Hi, I'm JD Ross. I live at 177 State Road. When you look at the video that she shows, there's the driveway and like the green behind him. I live on the other side of the green. So we share a property line. I've lived next door to John and Amy for probably 15 years or so. Well, accurate. As I listened to all this come apart, explain what happened, I'm not surprised at all at the compassion, humility and caring they have for what happened. It's horrible. It's normal for them to be the way they are. They're wonderful people. They've had countless dogs that lived over there, rescue dogs, that pigs, chickens, goats, small farm. They've been amazing people, amazing neighbors. I have a golden retriever and a rescue dog that go out every day in our fenced yard and bark at her dogs. They ignore them like they are sentries, like they just don't even acknowledge it. My dogs go ballistic when I see them out there. So it's surprising to me that the dogs would respond to someone coming in the manner they did, unless, like she said, that they were medicated, and that's what happened. So I didn't witness it. I didn't see the event, but I can tell you every day the dogs are out, and I go out the end of the day and bark hysterically at them, and they don't even acknowledge it. They're very respectful dog owners. They're great. My dogs have gotten out and gone on her side to get their chickens, chase all their other livestock they have. And there's never been an encounter between her dogs and my dogs, ever. It just doesn't happen. They're always restrained, they're always away. It's like they're not even there. I go over, I plow the driveway, I visit John, talk all the time. I've never experienced any situation where the dog's been threatened, almost like not even know they're there. So that's about what I have to say.
Thank you.
They're very good people.
Thank you. Okay, so at this point, everyone has had a chance to say their piece.
I noticed the animal inspector is on, I ask.
Oh, okay, good. I see Storm McQueen is on the Zoom. Storm, is there anything that you would like to add to the conversation? If so, go ahead and unmute yourself there and or give us some indication. Okay,
Guess not.
maybe they're away from their desk. I don't know. That's never happened to me, so meeting, that's for sure. Let's see, procedurally, we're at the point where we can basically ask questions of any of the 3 or 4 parties here, is that right? Okay, and I see a couple of hands go up, people want to add something. And I'd say if you can be really brief, then I'll start with the man in the animal control uniform in the back. Please identify yourself. And then-
Dragon, DACO for the.
And have you been sworn in?
I am not.
Oh, could you stand up and be sworn in?
Absolutely.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Just a couple quick points of clarification is that since the testimony for everything is more just a word. The video, the content. The
What?
video, of the video, they were referenced by Ms. LaValle. The board should consider the hearsay is the video has not been viewed by anybody but Ms. LaValle. Ms. LaValle did make a statement that no one has seen the video. However, I believe I've heard contradictory statements that she has shown the video to dog trainers. So that's a contradiction, previous statement at that point. I was not the investigating officer in this case. I know very little about the case. I would have personally liked to have heard from her husband, who was the witness to this incident.
Hmm.
Ms. LaValle has mentioned that, or most evidence Ms. LaValle presented to Whalen's demeanor was in her presence. This incident did not occur in her presence. I know speaking personally, my dog behaves very, very differently when she's with me than when she's with my wife or my kids or with a coworker or something like that. So I'm not surprised to see a very different Whalen when in the presence of Miss LaValle if she is Whalen's handler, as she states.
Thank you.
Okay.
Julie was having a little trouble hearing you.
Apologies.
Okay,
No, I did ultimately hear him. It seems that it's harder to hear people in the back of the room. The voice is cut in and out, but I did hear him ultimately.
okay. And then Kim, you had your hand up earlier. Did you want to add something very, just be brief if you could please.
I just wanted to clarify, I just wanted to clarify that I am not suing Mrs. LaValle. I have missed over 3 weeks of work. I'm doing physical therapy. I'm gonna have scar treatment. I'm not suing her. I just need my medical bills covered. I've used up all my PTO. And the letter to her was from an attorney, yes, because that's what needs to be done. That's not my intention, and I never at any point have brought in her work here. If anything, I came into your office. I didn't want to do this, and I didn't want to make a scene, and I was really hoping today would be positive, like, hey, we're gonna do a fence, we're gonna have a muzzle, good to go. And I understand these
Yeah.
videos, and I know you love your dog, and that's something that I had said to her. But having him muzzled sometimes and muzzled not times, I could be anyone. Like, I'm going to drop off the medics on the way home. I was respectful of the property. I saw her husband. I didn't just walk on the 2 German shepherds. He saw me. We made eye contact. It was pleasant. Yes, I may be blurry on some of the details. I also have text messages confirming that when I asked her for the video, which mind you, the last text message between us, I sent, she didn't respond. And no, I didn't take up offers of money because I thought I was just like, let's heal, let's move forward, you know, that's the priority. And I really wish Mr. LaValle was here. I mean, he was the one that saw it, but that's not my place. And anyways, just one very brief, one note, Mrs. LaValle had noted that she had only seen my statement, a day ago. I had never seen a statement from her at all about this, which I guess I don't need. I may not be in a position to even receive that. I assume it's going to be a public report, but that's okay. But there was nothing trying to be coveted, and if anyone's going to remember their job, she just brought up that someone from the select board is under property. Like, I want to keep that completely out of it. This has nothing to do with her position there. This is a specific incident that occurred, and I don't want any damage to come because of that. Not a reflection of her work or anything like that. I just want to make sure that's clear.
Thank you. Yes.
Heather Son, I just wanted to clarify, Ms. LaValle asked about why her workplace was mentioned. As I said in the beginning, I came to see where the bike report was. Willie Dickinson usually sends a bike report to the town. We didn't receive it as animal control officers. I came to the town, she was there, that's why it was mentioned of her workplace. But I'd also like to mention she did a records request for my report on her company letterhead. The department letterhead.
Oh, okay.
So it was not a private email from Amy LaValle's private, whatever email account she has. She used her work email to request a copy of the records of my report.
Understood. Okay, Amy, try to keep it brief.
He's absolutely right. My dog does behave differently from my husband versus me. To be expected. Council advised us not to show the video to anybody. And to cease all communications with Miss Brozo, so that's what I did. As far as my work, I just put in the request on Thursday. This dog report was made way before I requested it and my employment was in there. And I didn't even get a copy of the dog report, just as my office. I haven't seen any dog reports. Not really sure what's going on. I'm supposed to have them as part of my job, but I haven't gotten any, so I had to put in a information request
Okay.
on
Well, see,
Thursday. And
I don't know
just
if
got
I
it.
have a dog report here either. I have a little big stack of papers
Yeah,
from various people, but I don't know if I even have what you're referring to as a dog report.
I think you,
Sure. I mean, I've got a big pile of things. And
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you which one is a dog.
but anyway, my place of employment was mentioned way before I asked for this report.
Okay,
My bet, which I'm
Okay.
still embarrassed to how we got to that. And I'm
All right. Well,
taking
let's,
the 24-hour rule before I go to my vet's office.
okay, okay. Let me go to questions then. So Fred.
I'm curious, very curious about the video. Who aside from you and your husband have seen?
One of my trainers, we watched it together.
And that's it, your attorneys haven't seen it,
My attorney has not seen it, her attorney has not seen it, my insurance company has not seen it. Nobody has seen it except for myself and my trainer to figure out what happened.
Okay, now the three trainers that were in the.
No,
one
and
of
I
the
don't
things they
have
gave
3
us.
trainers. We had 2.
Okay, because yeah, one of these reports said 3, and I don't remember.
Yeah, that is not correct.
All right.
the problem I have is that
Disagreement there.
it's hard to lesson, to take second or third hand, because the only witness was your husband, who was not here.
Correct.
So we've got 2 sources of evidence about what happened, aside from the complainant. And their evidence exists to show us what happened, yet we cannot see it. That correct?
If
I don't understand what. The inference has to be that somehow this isn't
So
good for
the-
you.
So yes, so the trainer and I watched it on the camera. It was not a screenshot. It was not anything like
Yeah.
that. I was asked several days later, if we had it, and the videos leave the camera cloud or whatever after a certain amount of days. I was not sure if we still had it. We did dig it out with help from our camera company, which was the whole thing. And so I do have a screenshot of the video. However, when she found out there was video, I'm respecting her wishes. She said she did not want anybody to see it. And got
I mean,
Very
while this isn't a court of law, it is a ways out legal proceeding, and I think
I was,
we're
without-
entitled to see
without-
evidence.
I understand,
Exists.
and if I showed it to you, you would be like, oh, this is what happened.
Well, we
Well,
can't take your
I
word for
don't
that.
have,
yeah.
I
We
don't,
can't take any word for
I
that.
don't have legal counsel with me, and they advise me not to show.
Okay. Understood, but you understand that in some ways works against you here,
Yeah,
Because
because she
the-
could show it to you because it would have done.
because the only person who was there, who is here giving evidence, has submitted pictures of the wounds. And I gotta say, I think it was awesome that you took her to the hospital. I think this started out as a very human kind of response, someone got hurt non-intendedly. And someone came to help them as much as they can, and we've gotten to kind of an antagonistic spot right now, and I sort of. I don't wanna run down that rabbit hole if I don't have to.
Mhm.
But it would, I don't. At this point, I just have to assume that whatever happened at that time, whether it was because of the medication or what, actually did happen.
I'm
the
not
video-
disputing, I'm not disputing.
And you're not
that
disputing it,
she-
okay, good,
I'm not disputing that my dog. bit
Okay.
her.
and
I am disputing that this is now has to be considered a dangerous dog when I showed you that he was on several sedation medications and was not right in his head.
So let's
And-
assume that that's the,
Without, and
Yeah.
historically, and still to this day, we've had zero issues.
let's assume that it was the medication. I'm just assuming that. And let's assume that, how is something like this not gonna happen again?
Well, when he goes to the vet, he's gonna stay in his den until he sleeps it off.
So how does he get from the driveway to the den?
You mean from my vehicle?
From your vehicle?
From my vehicle? Well, at this point, he's leashed and muzzled all the time.
Okay, so the
And
vehicle,
he's leashed and muzzled from the vet,
okay,
and I don't take the muzzle off immediately. Because, we don't want our dogs to associate the muzzle with going to the vet. We want them to associate it with other things, like we're gonna go get ice cream, we're gonna go to the park, blah,
Okay.
blah, blah. So put it in a positive light, so they don't get even more anxious and not want to wear the muzzle, because muzzle's coming, I'm going to the vet. So that muzzle doesn't come off until we're inside.
can I keep going?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So you're in your car, driving home from the vet,
Yep,
and the dog is muzzled and leashed in the car.
yep.
And then you pull into the garage.
Yep.
And you close the garage door.
Yep.
And then they go into the house
Mhm.
and you keep the muzzle on for whatever time you think, but they,
Yep,
if someone were to come into the driveway at that point and didn't see the beware of dog signs, which I can understand those either being seen or not, because they may blend in. Then they're in the house. When they're in the backyard, they're good. Does the fence extend in the front yard?
no, but
No.
there's, the only way they're going to get into the front yard is through the front door, and the front door is essentially not a door that we use.
Oh, okay.
There's the
No,
front
understood,
door,
understood,
and then
that's-
there's actually a baby gate.
Yeah.
At the entryway.
Yeah.
And
And
so
you're-
they would have to get through the gate and then get through the door.
Okay, with no opposable thumbs, they're really not gonna do that.
Well. Be different baby locks on our trash can, and you can still figure them out.
Okay, so at this point, are you agreeing that anytime Waylon is outside of your home or your fenced in area, whenever he's outside of that he'll be muzzled and on a leash?
Which is the protocol we are doing now,
That's what you're doing now,
absolutely.
and you agree to
100%.
do that indefinitely?
I agree to do that until I work with trainers, because. And if a professional trainer says, no, you need to keep it on. Because it is. How do I put this? Well. Yes,
Okay,
it kind of interferes with training.
but can the training be done in a place where he's not required to be?
Well, if it's outside my fence,
Could it be inside your fence?
it can be inside my fence, but it also would be on different locations.
See, I understand no control officer. Do you think that that's an appropriate?
If the board says that I need to muzzle and leash my dog for
Yeah.
his next 12 years outside of my property and outside of my fence, I will do that.
Do you think that's an appropriate remedy?
I think that's a very appropriate remedy. I do see that she's saying it could affect training if it's in an enclosed training facility and there's only her and the trainer. That may be acceptable to have the dog progress. We want him to do better and get better. But we also wanna keep everyone in that same safety range. And I don't know who these trainers are, what their certifications are.
Mhm.
Well, we haven't been told the names
Right.
after request, which everyone is entitled to their own privacy.
Mm.
But it's good that in the field we're in, we get to know who the trainers are, because maybe there's a good trainer out there we could help. Some people we come to from each
Mm.
town or in the shelter, if there's someone that has a dog that can help, we would then know the name of this great trainer, but we don't have that at this time. But back to the whole thing, yes, muzzled and leashed indefinitely when outside of her
Yeah.
home or the fence, fully fenced in backyard. would be acceptable in our.
And, this may be a question where your answer is an opinion. But when does that possibly end? Is there a process by which someone can evaluate the dog to say that this is no longer a risk?
I'm gonna defer to ACO Dragon.
Oh, okay.
He's got any extra input.
I'll look a little bit closer so if I can. open it.
Yes, please, so
Yeah.
so that Julie can hear, yeah.
So basically, the board can put any restrictions they want or any limitations they want when if they find orders. Historically, some towns have done, that if you have a year without incidents, you can come back. Given the scenario and the statement of that they're gonna be working with trainers, I would say that the board says in a year you can come back with your trainer. And the trainer can make a statement that in their belief, this dog, these restrictions could be lifted from this dog. I don't know if the trainer would do that or not, it's gonna put some liability on them, because now they're saying this dog is, it's good to be in public. And again, I would just openly caution that you have two different dogs depending on who's handling the dog,
That's,
but.
now, okay, so, Fred and I have been hogging up all the questions. Julie, do you want to have some questions you want to ask of anybody here?
I am not certain. Well, actually, I have one question and one statement. The statement is about gabapentin. The dog was on gabapentin as part of the chill protocol. We had a cat. This is anecdotal evidence, but we had a cat that was on gabapentin to calm her down, and when she came down off of it, she was vicious. So it's, in my opinion, my anecdotal opinion, it could be that the dog was having a reaction to coming down off the medication, and that keeping the dog quarantined post veterinary visit for 24 hours or whatever is probably a good idea. That's my statement. The question is, Kimberly, I believe, had said that what she wants is her medical bills paid, and I thought I understood that Amy said that they were willing to do that. Are both of these things true?
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, Amy had sent me multiple texts. At one point, she had said that she had spoken with her husband and he was willing to pay a week's worth of my salary. At another point in time, in the car on the way to the hospital, she had noted that our homeowner's insurance would take care of this. And then at a later time, I believe she had reached out and said they'd be willing to work out, for the copay. She was very nice. This was a good interaction up to this point. At the point at which I was made aware that a video was circulating of this incident, and she told me that she did not have it, our conversation deteriorated.
Okay,
The last
then let's,
message
yeah,
between, the
that's
last
okay.
message between me and her was from me to her. She did not respond,
okay.
and she went and got counsel. So we were still talking
Alright.
at that point. It
Okay.
had gotten very tense,
Right.
I'm hurt with that. So, and I just wanna let you know that it's 2 months out. This is still a problem. Like, this is gonna take some time.
It's not healed yet.
No, and we don't, it's nerves, it's stupid. So you gotta roll with it and just be positive and move forward, and it's gonna be okay, but it's not okay. We can't have this happening.
Understood. Okay, I see a couple of hands up. Let me go to Heather first.
I just wanna also just touch base. She said that the dog, it was only because of this medical experience coming off the medication, but she also said because of the event, the behavior was being negative.
Mhm.
I just wanna keep
That's
everybody, it did set him back, and that is probably correct. But we can't just say it was a medication thing, because an event happened and things continued. So if another event happens, things could or may continue. We wanna put a safety.
So it's sure there's no more events.
We want a safety plan in place.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay. Did you also?
And I just want to sort of point for clarification of the board, since it came up. To my knowledge, the board does not have an avenue to mandate Municipal Valley.
Correct.
Payment.
Oh, right,
It would
that's
have to be small claims. I don't feel that should be an issue. She did mention that there's already an existing insurance policy against this dog, so that should not be
Yeah,
an issue.
I know that we don't get to decide anything about what the people do to each other
Okay.
or with each other, just the donors. That's so, but it is nice to hear, because honestly, one of the things I'm hearing here are just two reasonable people one of whom I know better than the other, but you're trying to do them a favor.
I was
Right,
trying,
you were, I mean, this started out by you trying to do something good, and you were responding really nicely as a nurse, and so I think you're both really wonderful people, and I hope this gets resolved between you without a lot more, animosity, because I just think you can do it, and it sounds like the restraints that you're willing to impose are the restraints that you're kind of asking for, and that the animal control officer says would be
Yes.
effective for some period
That
of time.
sounds reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've been in place since day one.
since, okay. Julie, do you have anything else you want to ask?
No, no, and I appreciate the way you're framing it. I agree.
Yeah, and Fred, do you have anything else you'd like to ask?
No, I think that what seems to be.
Yeah.
What
We might be-
coalescing around
Okay,
is a reasonable solution.
okay, and I think I've run out of all of my questions.
can we just confirm the fence is gonna be done soon?
I was just gonna go look at my script here,
Yeah.
figure out what's gonna happen.
Also, you want me to cover procedure?
Yeah, the procedure was we would close the hearing and then the selectmen, Julie not being able to vote, but Julie be part of the discussion. Discuss the things we have to decide, which is between the dangerous dog and, not annoying is not the word they use, but nuisance dog.
Nuisance.
And, or neither, I think is what we have to decide. And in different cases, we put different restrictions on. So that's my understanding of what happens next. But I wanted to just make sure everybody had a chance to ask questions, before I close the hearing.
And what it means to close the hearing is, it then means we're not taking any more testimony, questions. It is the board to deliberate and make their determination.
Do you have one more thing you'd like to add?
Yeah, just another point of clarification for the board, just a note that when you do your decision making, whether you dismissing nuisance, dangerous.
Oh, yeah, there's subcategories.
Oh, yeah, there's subcategories,
Yeah. Or reasons.
you could go nuisance or dangerous, still put the same restrictions on. Violations of those are still the exact same.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. I take a motion,
I move we close the hearing.
second that, all those in favor,
Aye.
Fred, Joyce, and Julie, I know you're with us.
I'm
Okay.
here.
All right, so now we have a decision to make. And I outlined it briefly, we can make a determination either that the dog is a dangerous dog and there are specific reasons we would have to cite that the dog is a nuisance dog with specific reasons. Or we could say, we've discussed it and we think it's neither a nuisance dog or a dangerous dog. So as a starting point, I'll put out what I think. I think that dangerous dog is too much. I think nuisance dog is the appropriate one. I'll start with that. And now I'm looking for.
If I can comment on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, based on the criteria, I would like to classify as a nuisance dog, but I think by the criteria that are laid out, this would qualify as a dangerous dog. That the dog attacked someone without justification, causing physical injury. And a nuisance dog is more excessive barking, threatened or attacked livestock, but such threat is not a grossly disproportionate reaction of insertion. I think that by the definitions that we are given, though down the road this might not be a problem, I think it qualifies as a dangerous dog by the definition.
By number one,
By number, right,
because there are two possible things to
right,
say.
but by number one, but
By number
it's an
one.
or, not an and.
Yeah, or, right, so by number one, without justification, attacks a person or domestic animal causing physical injury or death. And here, like the mitigating circumstance being the medication. Okay,
With-
but that's,
Which is
right, okay.
a supposition, we
Right,
don't
are-
know that.
That's right, we don't know, and,
No, I don't know that this,
Yeah, I think
that
number
this,
two,
that this is a dangerous dog, but I think we have to, by the letter
Yeah.
of the statute, have to classify it as that.
Honor it as a dangerous incident.
Well, we're being asked to judge this dog
Yes,
based
no,
on.
no. No,
Yeah.
I agree. I hate to say that Waylon is a dangerous dog, but given that specific incident, I think that is the most appropriate. Does not mean that he would continue to be, et cetera, but I think calling him a nuisance dog, and again, I can only give my opinion, maybe
yeah,
is a little too light, given the fact that somebody was injured and needed stitches.
I think
Okay.
given how each is defined, that nuisance
Yeah.
is just insufficient in this case.
Yes, insufficient.
right, I guess what I was thinking when I thought about nuisance dog was the third one. And the third one says, has threatened or attacked livestock, domestic animal, or a person. But such threat or attack was not a grossly disproportionate reaction under the circumstances, and maybe that's where I was thinking about the
But I think the
medication.
circumstances are someone
But the-
coming onto the property this was not.
Right, no, yeah, I
It
was
was a
thinking,
disproportionate
right.
reaction.
right, I think that the circumstances in my mind was the medication, but that's probably not the right way to think about it. Okay,
We don't know that.
okay. So if.
But as
we
the
agree-
officer said, it's not
It largely,
impact. if we
largely doesn't,
come to
that's
some-
not necessarily the important part. The important part is what to do about it to make sure it doesn't happen again. It seems like between Amy and Kim and the animal control folks, we have an agreement about
Right,
what that should be. To me, the main remaining question is, does that go on forever, and how does one evaluate? What would mean another hearing after some period of time?
Hmm.
So, I mean, because that just. It does, I mean, like, if my kids were doing now what they did, when they were 3 or 4 years old.
well,
Dogs
but
would go.
the difference between a 3 and 4-year-old human and dog.
Yes,
I mean, if the dog was 6 months old, I would feel differently about its potential behavior than a 3-year-old dog.
so I guess, I don't know how much latitude to put there for, when if the dog, it gets more training, it gets to a point where. And that's the.
But if it was the medication, would additional training overcome that in the
Yeah.
future anyway, if the dog happened to be on the same medication or other medication at some
Yeah.
point down the road?
And it is a supposition. About the medication.
Right.
So. No.
But I think if we're good with the.
Yeah.
Muzzling and
Yeah,
leashing when not in the enclosure or in the house.
and then let that be indefinitely.
Yep.
And then, okay. That seems like the easiest thing to do at the moment, and then. If in the future, something really changes, then maybe there is a remedy. And our animal control folks, who we are so glad.
Right.
We are part of the. Because we rely on you, so.
Yeah.
That maybe we address this again sometime in the future.
Right.
Okay. All right,
So just to confirm.
Yeah.
Page 4 lists out the conditions, the remedies that you can use for a dangerous dog. I believe what you're saying is items 1 and 3.
That's number 3, 1. Correct, so not 2.
I don't even know where 1 comes in, but I really think it's.
Well, you,
That it's being
That's leased.
restrained on property.
Well, but in 3 is also restrained with a chain.
so it's really, well, but not changed it.
But that's when it's removed from the property, but. 3 is only dealing with when it's removed from the property, but 1 covers all instances.
Oh, that they'd have to be restrained on the property?
Correct, that they would need to be restrained either within a structure, within a fencing.
Oh, okay, so that's the,
That's
oh,
what
okay,
the purpose of 1 is to be inclusive, but in instance. 3 is for instances off property.
oh, okay. Yes, no, okay, at first I thought that
No.
meant they had to be.
2 also covers specifically. What to do when it's just on property,
property.
such as the dog run,
But not-
enclosure.
But not further,
Yeah.
not further, but I don't think we need to. I wonder if- Okay, and the owner's already done number 4.
Right.
They say, and I think they're in here, if there's a. Insurance.
Yeah, there is.
certificate, so- I agree with you, Pete, that what we're talking about is number 1, which is the fencing. At, when they're outside the home, they're in an enclosed area, which is, they use the term humanely restrained, and I think a fence is counted as humanely restrained, and then the 3rd one says. When removed from the premises, the owner keeper dog shall be securely and humanely muzzled. And restrained with a chain or tethering device having a minimum tensile strength of 300 pounds and not exceeding 3 feet in length. Okay. So that sounds like.
Those are all the remedies out of the list, just wanna make sure you're.
Yes,
I read through all the others and.
yeah,
we-
I don't.
I don't think we need 2 or. Number 4, she's already done,
Yeah.
but I don't think. That's something that either Kim or the animal control officers thought were. Things that actually had to be good, but if it was me, I'd get the insurance too, so. And then the others. So. All right, so.
The other thing that you have to
Yeah.
do, just.
Yeah.
Because it's part of your motion, so it sounds like you determined that you're making the. Determination on dangerous dog based on the definition part 1.
Yep.
You
Yes.
have the ability for both if you wanted to, but sounds like you're going for part
Yeah,
1, so
for part
whoever's
one.
gonna make the motion is. Part 1, and you do have to state facts that you have found based on the testimony given, that are.
Oh, okay.
Are giving you and making you make that determination that it is a dangerous dog and. Why you're making the conditions,
Okay,
they would be about the incident,
I
about the
think-
dog. About
yeah,
the
okay,
actions intended.
yeah. I think, we can't deny that the injury happened. We can't, so then there was the. I don't know, the injury on,
Maybe.
May 8th. At 171 State. And. Nobody's saying the injury didn't happen, nobody's saying it wasn't a dog. Biting.
Right.
And then the injuries there are the main evidence we have for. And that everyone knows it was a regrettable thing. Is, I don't know. That's good, faith in people. I think that that was a bad thing, we wanna do something about it. Is there anything? We have to say more than that? That the incident. Where, where a person was injured by several bites.
It's up to
Oh my God.
You want this to be as defensible as possible as well.
Okay,
So your orders should identify the reasons why, so, you know, it's that there's a dog there, sorry, that there is an incident report. That there was a previous incident acknowledged by the dog owner. That the dog owner has stated actions currently being taken. The evidence of the actual degree of injury that occurred.
okay. Okay,
But
all right. All right, start out. So I'll move based on the following facts, adjudicated. Well, it says adduced, I don't know that verb. Adduced at this public hearing, including but not limited to the incident report where a person was injured on May 8th at 171 State Road. The injury evidence submitted here, including photographs. The previous incident
if I
mentioned.
can interrupt.
Yeah.
Make sure to get the dog's name.
Oh.
afterwards. Yeah. I clearly identify the animal.
Oh, wait, you know, I'm just following the script here.
Oh, okay.
Well, that would be a fact.
Yeah,
It
what,
would be.
yeah,
the dog
just to make sure for the record, what animal we're talking
The pressure, the pressure I'm under
about.
here.
Just trying to help.
Okay, all right.
Male German Shepherd.
We're going,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
so. All right, I move based on the following facts, introduced at this public hearing, including but not limited to. The incident report for the incident on May 8th at 171 State Road. By a dog named. I'm gonna screw up the name.
wait,
Wayland. Named Wayland. The incident report includes, several bites to a person. There's, some testimony about a previous incident as well. There was also, evidence submitted about the severity of the wounds, some photographs. We heard evidence of the action currently taken by the owner to restrain the dog to make sure that this kind of thing doesn't happen anymore. Any facts you think I should have thrown in there? That I didn't. No, okay. That the select board find that the dog complained of is a dangerous dog by reason of that the dog, without justification, attacks a person or domestic animal, causing physical injury. Okay. And so that's a motion. We'll stop there. So the next, we have a separate motion for the remedy.
oh, with that, you can make it. And then you can say, and with the following remedy be.
Okay, with the remedy to be that the dog be humanely restrained, but not chained, tethered, or otherwise tied to an inanimate object, including a tree, post, or building. And in plain English, that's enclosed in a fence. Okay. And that when removed from the premises of the owner, the dog shall be securely and humanely muzzled and restrained with a chain or other tethering device having a minimum tensile strength of 300 pounds and not exceeding 3 feet. I think my motion is done.
Well, I was second.
And no requirements on coming back. You had discussed that,
No.
okay,
Yeah, let's let it be indefinitely and
okay.
whatever other process might have to happen. Someday this. Is not, and I don't feel like it. I don't have the. The right word. I don't have the insight to know whether to make that 12 months or 24 months. So
It would be an arbitrary number.
it'd be an arbitrary number, and that's probably not a good idea. Okay, was that a second?
That was a second.
That was a second. Is there any further discussion, Julie?
No,
Okay, then let's take a vote. Fred, Joyce, aye.
May I make a clarification just for my own,
Sure.
anytime off of the premises, but not including a training facility?
It says owner slash keeper, although I think I skipped the word keeper on there when premises of the owner. So keeper, is that when their trainer is the keeper?
But she's saying when it goes to a trainer, correct?
When it goes to a trainer
When it's on property with a trainer or in a facility.
in a training facility, that's enclosed? Mostly?
Well, I mean, training happens inside and outside,
Okay, is the outdoor area generally fenced in?
yes.
Okay, then if it's fenced or enclosed, then,
Well, actually, I can't say that because I lost my trainer, so I have to find them.
I see. I mean, within the bounds of Whately is where I think we have jurisdiction. You were about to maybe help me out with,
We're saying anytime it leaves, so any facility, we're saying it should still be muzzled.
okay,
It's not an enclosed safe area for training purposes.
so if the trainer has an enclosed
A
area,
fully enclosed.
fully enclosed
Like
area,
her backyard that the stipulations say it doesn't need it there, then.
and
So
if
she
the
was-
trainer has a backyard,
A fully
and that's
fenced in
fully fenced in.
backyard,
then that's fine to take off.
Or an indoor facility.
Or if it's an indoor facility,
Where there are no other.
Then that's
animals are
fine.
Present, then.
if the trainer
It
has,
didn't seem like animals, yes.
okay,
So if we're tracking outside, he has to wear a muzzle.
yeah, it's not fenced in. Does that, then you were gonna add,
I just have a couple quick points of clarification, just to clarify one before you finish your motion. I know
Okay.
you're here. One, you've done must be confined in the premises the owner, secured yard. Two, when removed from the premise, her entire property is considered her premise. Are we requiring to be muzzled if the dog is standing in her driveway?
yes,
Yes, because it's outside of the.
Okay,
enclosed
because it
area.
is
Is
not,
there any, my understanding is the fence is not completed yet.
Right.
Which I think is gonna happen in the near future, so are we putting a timeline on the fence for the enclosure, and are we writing in there that that until such enclosure is done, the dog shall be?
No. Because point one states that a dog must be humanely restrained, so the restraint is either in the enclosure.
The wording change, so I wanna make sure we're on the same page, so.
It's
we're
either
all on
within
the same page
an
going forward.
enclosure or muzzled.
Right. but when it's in the house, it doesn't need a muzzle. When the fence is
Because it's a-
complete in the backyard, it won't need a muzzle. If they're at a trainer with an enclosed area, it doesn't need a muzzle. Or if the trainer is inside a building, an enclosed building, so the.
And the dog can be on a leash on the property, because that would be humanely restrained.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I appreciate how hard this has been for everybody, because we all care about each other and we all care about our animals. And Kim, I really appreciate that, and this was hard for you, and Amy. Gosh, this was also hard for you, and I really appreciate that. I hope you both know, I look at you both and I think. These are two really good people, and I hope the rest of this is resolved, as, well, as nicely as it can, because I know you're both really good people. Are we done then?
I think we're done.
I think we're done. Thank you, everyone. This is hard what we did today, so. If you're feeling drained or feeling a little, I don't know, sad or bad or tired, then it's because we did something that's hard, so.
Do I have a right to an appeal?
Sorry?
Do I have a right to an appeal?
Oh, gosh,
I would ask the town
Yes.
clerk.
yes.
But yes.
You have 10 days from the date of the hearing to appeal before this report.
I just wanted that to be stated.
Okay.
Yes. Stated.
I'm so glad we have people who know their stuff in the room here. And this is what we pay you guys for, and I'm just so glad we have your expertise. Thank you so much.
Your orders will also include, they have to include any, if there is a right to an appeal, they always have right.
Okay. All right, then,
You're all welcome to stay.
you're all welcome to stay.
Should you decide,
The rest of it, yes, we're gonna.
I need 2 seconds, I need to reset these.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, let's get started, right?
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Nice to meet you.
And, yeah,
Sweeney, Sweeney.
Great.
Thank you.
It's too far away.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think we can still be up by 6.
What? What happened to my camera?
Oh, yeah.
Serious.
But I think, something they ordered, not quite $2,000 either. But we shouldn't be deliberating because. I'll keep my opinion because it will be in open sessions. I'm so sorry all of this happened.
Me too.
Joyce, can you tell me, is my video showing? Everything's muted.
Sorry, you were muted. It's just your portrait.
Yeah, I don't, oh, there it is. Okay, hang on. Somehow I hit a button and it just, here I am again.
Here you are.
Okay, I think we're good now. He's back.
Thank you. For my clarification, I could not tell, who was it that asked about an appeal?
Amy, just want to know what was your rates for appeals?
Yeah, okay.
And it's not a promise to appeal, it was not.
Yeah, no,
Granted.
I couldn't
What?
tell if she was asking for the appeal or if Kimberly was asking, so I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
Okay, hopefully it'll kick on in a second.
Yeah, no, it's okay. At least it's, super hot. Sure, it can get hot, but.
I might just put Jim next.
Yeah.
Because I know he's got a place, he's got something else to do, and I don't think, well, I don't know, because I see. Amy's.
We've already discussed it, she's fine with it.
No, I was.
Let's go.
And the other, I don't think there's any people attached to any of the other items except for the old business.
And do you wanna come in? Oh, wait, is she? You're not appointed. Yeah, correct.
I am under the finance committee.
Yeah,
I am.
you are appointed, you just have to do your,
Yes.
all right, you do your thing and then.
Do your thing. She's letting you do your thing.
Hi. What did they say?
Okay.
I pity the fool that tries to get
Mr.
between
T.
Amy and doing her thing.
Going.
All right, I think we're
Back
back
to
to our break.
No.
Back to business. We're gonna take a little business out of order. We have a very quick personnel related item that I don't think will take long, and we'll put our police chief back on the streets where he belongs.
Sorry to interrupt, Jessica. I haven't heard
So my understanding is, Jim, you're running low on part-time officers. You had a few
Yes,
resign and you want to be able to hire some more.
that's as simple as it is.
Yeah.
Two recently resigned. So we're down to four part-time officers, we can't cover all the shifts with the current people that we have, so I'm looking at least one more. If we get a couple of good applicants, then get to address that, so but we definitely need to do something.
Okay,
I just want to start the process.
Sounds good.
okay, I'd entertain a motion then.
I move that we start the hiring process to hire another part-time police officer.
I'll second that. Is Julie still not allowed to vote?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
For the whole meeting.
Any questions?
Sorry, Julie.
Put in there, Julie?
For the duration of the meeting, not allowed to vote. No questions.
Okay, all right, well, it's been moved and seconded that you'll be able to move forward for hiring 1 or 2 part-time police officers. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, very good, thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
I'll work with the staff to.
You work with it, you know, they're really in charge here.
Joyce.
Joyce, you're the,
Liaison.
okay, so it'll be the three of us.
Okay,
I think get all your people.
okay,
Great.
Thank you.
Bye, Jim.
great, all right.
All set.
Let's go back to old business then. We had a local license or permit request by Amy Schrader for a 1-day liquor license for July 19th at Hurley Park. My understanding is the paperwork is in order,
Yes.
that all the insurances are there,
Yes.
all the sign-offs from all the
Well,
department heads that have.
Well, we don't need that now.
no.
Oh, we don't need that.
Well, because
It's
early is
oversight.
exempt from the special
Oh.
requirement.
From
Did not
that,
realize
oh,
that,
okay.
So she went through some hoops and then we didn't need it.
That's okay, everyone's aware though now. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we go.
Yep.
So it's really just the liquor license.
The liquor
Yeah.
Any questions, Julie?
Nope.
I have one question.
yes.
Are there tickets for this and where are they available?
I do have some on me, and I'm pretty sure Inver Valley might still have some also,
Yes,
but
I
I
do.
do have some on me,
I
so.
don't mind in my backpack.
I have mine as well.
Oh, okay, great,
Just
yeah,
a
so,
general purpose.
So if
So
anybody,
people know.
so, yeah, they need to reach out, or, they are here at the town offices too, and even the Valley Town Clerk.
Yep.
Has those,
Okay,
yeah,
All
that's
right,
my only question.
okay,
all right, I did
I
entertain a motion.
move that we approve the 1-day liquor license for July 19th at Hurley Park.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, great.
Great, thank you.
We're zooming through, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 things, 15 minutes. I think we're out of here by 6. All right. Next item is the capital improvement project to review, discuss, and vote on an agreement for the new
Wait,
Whately
whatever.
website.
No,
And
got APR.
Agricultural.
APR. Oh, I put a check mark next to that.
You already did it.
In my mind, I already did that. Okay, let's go back to the agricultural preservation restriction to review, discuss, vote on the finalized APR process for the Gillespie vote. I have no,
This is just the deed now.
yeah, this is
Or the
something,
restriction, or
Yeah.
yeah, preservation.
I take a motion,
I move we approve the deed with the APR process on the property in question on River Road.
second that. All those in favor?
I,
Okay, I'm putting a second check mark next to that. All right. Whately.org website. I understand Fred has some questions
Yes.
and I'll let Fred go first.
with it. I want to make sure what we are getting for our $1,800 a year. Exactly what services, it was a little bit imprecise. And I also want to make sure that I saw the list of things that were going to be integrated. I want to make sure that we get the tax payment function fully integrated as well. It may just be a link, but I.
Yeah,
It's just a link.
It's
Yeah.
just a link,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, it's not integrated into the.
No.
No,
Okay,
Read
fine.
that easily.
that would be changing to a new platform.
Okay.
A new payment
Okay,
platform.
or,
Yeah.
when it comes time to do content, I would like to see that more prominently.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure, so now it's sort of
That's-
one thing on a list.
That's the purpose of the redesign, is to better organize everything, but we don't want it to be like Amazon where you put 100 things on your homepage. It still has to be like well curated.
Yeah.
To the question about the 1,800, the service fee, that service fee is the platform, the management platform that it is running on. We currently pay Civic Plus
Mhm.
because we're running our current website through the Civic Plus platform. All of these web companies, you essentially are paying for that service, that it creates the backup, it's the hosting, it's the service for the file retention. And it's the updating of the back end of that platform, the CMS, the content management system.
Okay, I just wanted to, do we have recourse, or, can we get consultation if some function on the website is not working?
Oh, yeah, that's what that
That's-
1,800, that is part of the.
The unlimited
technical
tech
support.
support.
Yes,
Okay,
though we will administer the website just like we
Right,
currently
right,
administer
right,
the
no,
website.
I understand that, I just want to make sure that the.
Yeah, there wouldn't be added fees each time you call, they go and say something broke.
Right. Well, no, I just want to make sure that these are the people who do it, they
Oh,
don't
yeah,
say,
yeah.
oh, no, we're only responsible for.
No, that is part
Okay,
of that,
fine.
yes.
Yeah, as just find users, and then you find that seems sufficient, like, it's not everybody in town hall.
We only have a
can do
couple
that,
of us that actually
But
administer.
probably won't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Julie, do you have anything you wanna ask or add?
Nope, nothing.
Okay, I will move that we authorize the contract with revised website services.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you? Joyce, do you wanna be the one to sign that, or do you wanna authorize me to sign it? Either, fine, either way.
If it's right here, I'll sign it.
Yeah, we have it.
Okay, you have to sign.
Oh, well,
You want me to wait? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
not immediately.
Thanks.
I'm ready though. Don't worry, guys.
Okay, hey, I'm busy checking things out.
Checking things off, we haven't even finished yet.
Yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3 things, 10 minutes, we can do it. We've got to review, discuss, and vote on end of year interdepartmental transfer requests.
We have 3.
We have 3. Oh, I remember reading about 2.
Yeah, and then there was another one that got added Monday.
Oh, okay.
Today.
All right, 1, 2. Okay. Here,
So the select board, you're gonna be asked to go and review these today, and then finance committee will be reviewing them on Monday.
oh, okay, all
Um,
right.
I'm happy to outline them, the 3 different
Yeah.
ones, if you would like.
So, yeah, right, I can only find 2 in my packet, but
Oh.
I can listen up with my ears.
Okay. The first one is a transfer of $2,886.08 out of the health insurance, group health insurance line item over to Medicare. We have to make those Medicare payments, and unfortunately, right now, we overspent on the Medicare line, but we have a significant savings on the group health insurance, just because we always over budget that, just in case people elect or
Right,
families
oh,
grow.
okay,
So we had money, so this
bye-bye.
is essentially moving that money within the same purpose, it's just from group health insurance to Medicare.
Okay,
The second larger one is $2,151.85.
right, sorry, yes,
That is being requested to be transferred out of the treasurer salary wage line to the tax taking expenses line. Still within the same department, but we do identify in the town budget. That town meeting votes on tax taking expenses as a separate line item from treasurer collector. There is a large amount for over $4,000 remaining in the salary line that we can move to the tax taking expenses. We just had a number of different, our outside consultant that was doing it has been working really hard, unfortunately. Worked a little too hard, so we did put them on pause, but until this next fiscal year, but yeah, so we are in the negative 2,151.
By head.
yeah,
But we do have enough
Surplus
money.
in the salary line because we
Yes.
didn't have
Yes.
Right, because we
Yeah,
had
that's
a-
Had a
we had a
treasurer
gap.
collector.
Because we had a gap, right?
Yeah, okay.
And then the last one is a request to transfer $216.46 out of the select board salary line over to Harper's payroll. We pay Harper's payroll a service fee, to utilize that service. Unfortunately, it was $216.46 more than we had budgeted. We have savings in our select board salary line for the CDA that went into a part-time status for a couple of months, so we have salary money there that we can move $216.
That's. Okay, Julie, any questions?
No questions.
Brad?
No questions.
Me, no questions. I take a motion.
I move that the board approve the departmental transfer request as submitted and discussed for fiscal year 2025.
No, I second that. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Can,
is that something
can I go
where
back for 1 second to
Okay.
the revised?
you can only ask a question, you can't unquote.
Well, because the only problem is that the date on this contract is 6/6/26.
Oh.
Is that not
That's-
25?
Well, this one says 6/6/25.
This contract here
Oh, you're right. I'll have them amend it.
says six.
Oh, up there. Oh, the next, because the next.
I
page is
want them to
correct.
have the date as
Yeah, but-
July anyways.
Right, but that first
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
says date of 26.
Yep.
yeah, okay,
It doesn't affect
all right,
approving it as a contract, just.
okay, good. Because I wasn't gonna allow that anyway. Oh, the power of the chair. All right, okay, good. Franklin County Solid Waste Management District to vote on the MOU, the memorandum of understanding for third-party inspection services. And also then the Regional Household Hazardous Waste Collection Event, September 25th, I think, for your calendars for those at home. Right? Now I'm gonna sit here, oh,
September 20th.
September 20th. So mark your calendars. I don't know if that was in the last scoop or not. They might not have decided at that point. So, maybe we had take those one at a time. And is this kind of stuff? I think, is there anything changed about the agreement from what we've done in the past? It's very much, standard kind of agreement that we do, and I think we should just do
Okay, and actually, I will combine,
it. Oh, let's combine them.
I will move that the board approve the memorandum of understanding with Franklin County Solid Waste Management District for inspectional services and the Regional Hazardous Waste Collection.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Look at all those check marks. We have one thing left. Excellent. We need to review, discuss. Smear the character, no, sorry, and vote on a request, roll over.
We have after the goodbye part.
Request for rollover of excess vacation days for Keith Park. So my understanding from what I read is that he's making this request because, you know, hey, I could have used those days, except we got this new guy, and I had to help the new guy, and I had to work side by side with him. It was better that we have that overlap.
Right.
Than it would be for me to take those roughly 20 hours during that week of overlap that we had. And that seems real, seems, what's the right word? I don't want, realistic, is not the right word for it.
Reasonable.
Started with an R. Right, that seems reasonable to me. Do you have any opinion on that you want to share?
I think we should probably do this for Kate.
Yeah, Julie, anything you wanna,
I think it's good, all good.
okay. All right, I would entertain a motion.
I move that the board permit Keith Bardwell to carry over the additional hours of unused vacation time beyond the permitted 80 hours, but not to exceed 40 hours of additional carryover into fiscal year 2026.
Second. Are those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Sorry,
feel so
Julie.
left out. I feel so
I
left
know.
out. It's terrible.
All right, so we gotta punch through our select board liaison updates. Do you have anything to start with, Julie?
I have not a thing to start with. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I do, sorry. For anybody who's interested in the plant and produce swap, it is happening this Saturday. I won't be there, but we do have 3 resident volunteers who will be taking care of it. It will be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We will have, as far as I know, some fruit to share and some herbs in pots. I'm not sure that there's anything else. It's slimmer pickings this time, but please show up if you're interested. That's it.
Okay, Fred,
Had a Zoom meeting this morning with Weston Sampson about the potential new highway garage. They had given us a very elaborate estimate and proposal. We went back to them and said, please scale this down considerably. We had a discussion about that this morning. We will be meeting with them, you know. Pete, I don't know if you're planning on being there.
Yes.
Okay, so Pete, Garrett and I will be meeting with Weston Sampson at the highway garage again next Monday to talk about how we can try to do a highway garage without breaking every bank that the town deals with.
okay. All right, well, I have enough to fill up another half an hour for us, like, but
Second elevator pitch.
You were the one that said that by 6.
I know. Well, basically, the big picture thing to report is things are happening with South County Senior Center. I'll save the report about, numbers are keep going up and how great Jen is doing there. But we have an opportunity that we're looking into for a new home. And that's the most important thing I wanted to get out today. I would put, maybe I put a few numbers into for perspective. When we did our feasibility study, they were saying, hey, $15 million building. $15 million at 6% over 30 years is over $1 million in payments, and that doesn't count the utilities and maintenance and so on. So that's like $1 million a year. So keep that number in mind, because that's the number that everybody goes, yikes, and that will never happen. There's an office building over in Sunderland at 112 Amherst Road that we are now officially looking at, and in fact.
Can you just define where 112?
It's 112 Amherst Road in Sunderland.
Well, no, you roughly.
Don't
so
Google
so
it.
People can, okay.
You have to let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Okay. It's in
Very-
Sunderland. It's very close to the center of town. It's not far away like the Oxford building was. It's a 3-story office building. It's not being used right now. It's being rented by someone who's vacated it. So there's, we actually have a little time. The folks who keep the building are saying, hey, we're negotiating with the people who are still obligated to pay us rent about what to do. Initial estimates of rent might be something like $10,000 a month, which is $120,000 a year, which is substantially less than $1 million a year. So it's something that is possibly within our fiscal abilities, when you divide that into the 3 towns. So that's those are 2 of the numbers I wanted to get out to. The space right now, actually, there was a walkthrough done at 3:30 today with a number of people who we gathered, some from Whately, some from Sunderland, some from Deerfield, to come take a look at the building. At this point, we want to find out, is there anything here that's a deal breaker? Because if there's something that's going to trigger, you need to upgrade the elevator. That's probably a deal breaker, because that would make the financial things not work. So that, I give that as an example, but just we're in the process now of kind of doing some due diligence to try and see if this is a place that we can afford. And I could give you a whole list of names of people that have stepped up to volunteer their expertise to help, but that would take too long. We're also in the process of sorting out, well, what would we need to move in? in terms of capital, what do we need in the next 5 years in terms of capital, because it does not have a commercial kitchen, and we do eventually want a commercial kitchen in there. We would also, I made a whole list and I sent this off to all the town administrators. You know we have to, get the expert eyes on it first before we can make any commitment. And we've got some local expertise that's gonna help us maybe understand what kind of provisions we could put in a lease. The people we're dealing with are, every single person I've talked to about them says those are good people. And so I think we will come to a good agreement with them. If we were to do this and somehow a miracle occurred and we were done by October 1st, we would be coming to towns for a special town meeting in the fall to try and appropriate the difference between the current rent we're paying and the rent at the new place. And so if somehow it were to work out that we got everything done by October 1st, which as you can tell, I don't think that's gonna happen, but that's the highest number. We'd be coming to Whately to ask for another $13,000 for the senior center's budget.
Would that be the only, or would there be retrofitting costs?
Oh, well, like that is the rent.
Oh, okay,
That
that's
is,
just the.
but it's also based on an estimate of what that rent is. So those are round numbers. It does not include any other capital costs. And then Sunderland is about 20,000 and Deerfield about
Right.
40,000. And then I guess the last number I wanna kind of drop on everybody is that if this were to work, then the next year when we come in for budgets, we're gonna be asking for about a 50% increase over the previous year. And that's something that would be, I don't know, Paul and Taya would say baked in.
Yeah.
And it would have to move forward, because we would be, they're talking and saying, oh, if you're talking about all these different modifications of the building, we want a 10-year lease. So, we'd be kind of committing that far into the future, and that, so I really wanna make sure that people.
But it'd
Hear
still
those
be
numbers.
substantially less
It's
than,
substantially less than $1 million a year
right,
from the 3 towns. And so far I've talked to a few people on finance committees in the various towns. Nobody hung up on me, you know? So this is looking like it's a serious enough one that we're probably gonna try and get more people to do a walkthrough to see the location. The experts who I left them to come here to this meeting, not that you all aren't experts at what you do. But I can't wait to hear from them to see what they say about what we think we need. So for example, I think because the building is a change of use, we might need an architect to take a look at it and make some plans and say, you know, with the change of use, this is how many people we should have with this kind of egress and so on. We may have to pay them to do that. We may have to see if that can come out of some of our existing grants. Or we have, you know, we have some couch cushions we could find. Some change in or something like that. So to me, it's really very exciting because we're operating out of such a small space, and this space is such that we could move in there tomorrow if we could hand them a rent check. And do everything that we're doing out of there and then have the space to grow. We could, the very popular exercise class, we could just run it twice in a row instead of just the once. We'd be so much more efficient with our staff. Just all kinds of really good reasons, and senior centers needed a home for a long time. So anyways, that's kind of moving along. Timeline wise, we are a band of optimists, so we think we might be ready. We think we might be ready to have some public forums, maybe some public walkthroughs in September. And then we might know things like, what's the exact number for the lease? You know, what's exactly included in the lease? And things like that. I don't have all of the answers to those questions yet. And how much do we need in additional furniture to move in that we can't, I don't know, find in some dark storage area of one of the 3 towns? So things are happening there. There's also a group, Mass in Motion is working on senior tax work off programs, and so they're gonna be coming to us And maybe to our finance committee as well, to talk about that in the coming months as well. That's part of a mass in motion grant that we have, and our own Mike Archibald is on that one too. So he'll probably come see us to talk about that. So
Cool.
that's all. That's what I got. Now I went over my 6 o'clock. Dang it, but I was just so excited.
All right, yes, but I thought this passed, you only 5 minutes over, not 8.
No. All right, well, I'm ready to turn over to town administrator for his updates.
Just 2 quick updates. Rusty Pulsgrove has started as our new community development administrator, this past Thursday. Already getting in, with, the projects, and we'll be meeting with our consultant for the center school project in 2 weeks.
Great.
To get that feasibility study started. And then also the town offices, we are still struggling with the AC, which you felt it canceled out tonight. It's now running again.
Okay.
It has been running better, but Jamrock does feel that there are 2 sensors that likely need to be replaced, and they will be doing that shortly, but we've been,
It's been way better.
it has.
It has been.
It has
It's been
been.
like maybe an hour where you get a little
Yeah.
hot, then it kicks back in. And before it wasn't doing that at all, so.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna much better.
But that's all.
The only other thing I have is congratulations to Keith Bardwell and his
Yes.
retirement.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
Good luck.
Tired.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, but she's still on speed dial though.
I know, everybody keeps calling his cell phone and going, hey Keith, and Garrett, so he's like, no, it's Garrett. Oops.
Okay, all right, any items not anticipated?
No,
Next meeting.
is July
29th?
29th.
At 4 PM Eastern time,
Yes, it is a Tuesday,
and it's a Tuesday.
just as a note.
Yeah, it's just as a heads up to everybody. Remember, it's a Tuesday. It'll be almost Wednesday for me.
More almost than us.
Right, right.
Move to adjourn.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.